Hey, Sooner fans, welcome back. Huge, ginormous win last night in Norman. We got Charlie in here from TFB. We need a third person today to really pull it all together. So up next here on the standard.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull up with the answers. Yeah, the answers. The champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah.
Yep, everybody, thanks for joining us. Please download, like, and hit that subscribe button. Rob, you're not on the ball today. Usually you have little.
Sorry.
I know you're always on me.
I was thinking of Mateer running for a touchdown, and I thought of how cool it was, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah. We're all a little distracted, I think, after yesterday, but yeah, huge win. I know we can't really rank these wins until you get to the end of the season, but any win over a ranked opponent is a good win in my book. Before we get into a lot of, in-game stuff and things like that, I just want to thank all the TFBers coming out to the tailgate yesterday. That was a great time. Rob, I'm getting hooked. I'm not a tailgater, so if I'm telling you I'm getting hooked, that's a pretty big deal for me. That's a pretty big step. Okay. It was a long day. I got home at 12:30 last night, and I was spent. This old guy doesn't do those 12-hour days very long. No, it was great tailgating, and it was all over campus. Tons of Michigan fans. Sorry, Charlie, we played a cornhole match, 2 out of 3, and we lost the rubber match, the third match with the Michigan guys. So they had bragging rights at least in the afternoon until the game started.
Yeah, they took care of that though on the field for you. You walked out with the bragging rights.
Yeah. Of the three of us, I was one of the lucky ones that got to be inside the stadium. And so I was just going to share my own personal experience real quick with that. Again, tons of Michigan fans. And I really have to compare the Michigan fans to Nebraska fans from my interaction with them. And that's a good thing because Nebraska fans are super respectful. Everybody appreciates each other's traditions.
Sure.
And there's not any, fake whatever, like if a Texas Tech fan comes into town or something like that, it's all real, it's all justified. Just two blue bloods getting to chat. It was just a great experience. So I just want to compliment all the Michigan fans that were in town. And I know they were very complimentary of OU and Norman while they were in town. So I think that's just an added bonus when you have these rivalry games like that, just great atmosphere and everybody.
Yeah, that level of respect, right? That's cool.
Yeah. And then inside the stadium, Rob, I know you just stepped out, but I was telling Charlie, I was sitting in a section with recruits and their friends.
Oh, nice.
And that was weird for me, like a different place to be in the stadium, right? I'm usually sitting with just the normal fans. So they don't cheer the same at all sometimes, which is weird because we're just yelling in the back of their ears because, we're just used to yelling during the game. And so they're just kind of, don't get me wrong, they're excited, but they just don't have the same quiet intensity yet. So that was interesting. And then the electricity in the stadium was great from the start to the end. They did a really good job, and you can thank the defense for a lot of it too, but they did a great job of keeping the music up while we were on defense. Just good production. Just it was spot on last night, and it carried throughout the game. I don't know if you could sense that on TV for y'all watching or not.
Yeah.
But you could feel it in the stadium, and it was just it just carried through for all 4 quarters. It was awesome. So
yeah, but the most important question is, what was the from the third to fourth quarter song? I know that's a hot debate. So
I mean, it wasn't Toby Keith song this time.
Oh,
And that's what it has been. So
it was that Oklahoma song.
Yeah. There Ain't No Love in Oklahoma with
that one.
Luke Combs, I think is his name.
Yeah, Combs.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It kept, like I said, it kept that energy going just like the rest of those songs did throughout. So, yeah, it was awesome. I knew I was really going to like watching these two jerseys and helmets flying around on the field together, and it lived up to every bit of that. Just seeing Michigan on our field just felt different. You know, they have some of the best looking uniforms in the country, if not, you know, one of the top 2 or 3. So just taking that all in. I got to go down on the sidelines right before the game. So, you know, Patty Gasso, you know, Skip Johnson, Joe Harris was walking in front of us, just, you know, several players just walking around down there. So it was just an incredible atmosphere. I think it's going to be really hard to top this year, but you know, I know there'll be a couple of games where we'll give that a run. But anyway, I don't mean to monopolize our intro here, but I just had to share the experience from inside the stadium. It was top notch and just hard to. I've been to many OU games, and it was right up there, top 5, which says a lot, as many as we've had in Norman. So,
were you in the stadium for Alabama last year?
I was not. Not,
because you said something in the you know, in your opening. You were talking about it being the, you know, biggest game. It was the biggest game, in my opinion, of Brent Venables' career. Even bigger than Bama, because Bama was more of a surprise. Hey, we won. You know, OU wasn't supposed to win last year against Bama. This year, I mean, this was the game everybody circled as soon as the schedules came out. You know, after a 6-7 season last year, everybody's like, that's the game where we're going to know something. So for my money, this was the biggest performance, I guess. It's the biggest game of Brent's tenure this time. That's the only way I can look at it.
Right. And then every other game, starting with Texas, will probably feel the same way, roughly, you know? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not too long. Well, we got 2 weeks, and then Auburn's going to be the next biggest game. And that really does move into that slot, because if you can beat Michigan and then you can beat Auburn and head to, you know, the Red River at 6 or 5-0. Yeah. So that was a huge performance under that, in that situation.
Yeah. There was some hitting going on. I could hear that on hand. I mean, 2 big physical teams that could fly around on the football. There was some popping going on. And you have to appreciate that, you know, coming off an Illinois State game when you know you outman them by 30 pounds on most positions. So
you weren't
good on
physical.
Good. It was good on good for sure last night. It was great. I'm glad I got to get in there and be a part of it. But so what y'all noticed the most about last night? If y'all have like 2 or 3 things, it really jumped off the page to both of y'all. I don't know if you can narrow it down or not, but is there something that really caught y'all's eye more than anything else?
You want to go, Rob, or you want me to go?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I just thought how I mean, just one thing that comes to my mind is how well Arbuckle controlled the game. Like he like within himself throughout the whole game controlled the tempo. He threw so much at Michigan, and especially their secondary. The number of formations that we got into was astounding. I don't know if I can count them all up. Like all the empty, the bunches, the stacks all over the place. Michigan, you know, not having their linebacker and not having their safety, Arbuckle and Mateer just feasted on them, and that was fantastic to see. And seeing, you know, the balance. You know, if you look at the run pass balance, it was pretty good. I thought that we ran the quarterback just a little bit much for my taste. I don't like to see a quarterback with 19 carries at the end of the game. I think that usage is really high, but Arbuckle really called a great game. I thought it was good, and I thought our offensive line did good, and then Brent's defense did exactly. We were all through the. You guys mentioned the litmus test. Like, this was a great. Where are we? Like, where are we in the country? Like, we've got this Michigan team that did win a national championship a couple years ago. They're a good program. Yes, they got a young quarterback who's super talented. Comes in and the defense just obliterated everything. They wasn't a thing where how many times has OU gone into a game and we played down to our opponent, where we just matched our skill and matched their skill, and we went in there, and that defensive front of ours, like you mentioned on the boards and on your tweets about David Stone, Charlie, he had a massive game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those guys came in and they wrecked havoc.
Yeah.
So that was great. Ben Arbuckle tempo, control the game, and then defense not playing into your opponent and just laying waste. It was great.
Yeah. For me, it was, I don't know if you guys recall, probably the first or second year, might have been first year that Brent came back, and the teams in the Big 12 were saying that OU is the most physical team that they played, and they just weren't super strong, but they were physical. Well, last night, both sides of the ball, from trenches to receivers to tight ends to D-backs, the physicality was it was intense. And I'm sitting here watching it from thousands of miles away or whatever. You could feel the power that they were hitting with and tackling with, both sides. Mm-hmm. Michigan, the way they were going after Mateer, the way they were going after anybody who's carrying the ball, but the OU side, the offensive line, Jaron Kanik at tight end. I mean, they're just firing off the ball and eating people. And then defensively, David Stone. I can't, I've been talking about David Stone since winter, like on a different level than last year. The things people say about him in the building, it's, they think could be one of the best to come through Oklahoma. And that's lofty. If you're mentioned as among the best at Oklahoma, you're doing something right. So, we saw a little bit last week where David was the one who was flashing against Illinois State. And, the other guys were just kind of playing catch, and they're getting their push. But because David's such a physical freak, he's through the line, he's flashing all over the place. The fact that he did that against Michigan in the biggest game of his career by far, he didn't play much against Alabama last year, and he just showed off. And then Sammy Omasaigo and Kendall Daniels, goodness, I mean, that's a poster. He made a poster.
Yeah.
So the physicality was really something that caught my eye. And the intensity is the next thing. From snap one to the final snap, the intensity was tangible. They were focused, and they weren't even, I wouldn't even say they played a good game overall llast night, right? No, I can't say that. They didn't play a great game. They played a good game, but they left so many points and opportunities on the field.
Yeah, they did.
And they got away with their fair share too. So there's a lot of growth that they can still do, but just I don't know if I was talking to one of you guys or it was on the board, but the fact that they definitely tend to forget the bad and just focus on the next play. I tweeted about Ruffin McNeil and his FIDO acronym last night, and that's it. It's to forget it and drive on, and that's John Mateer throws an interception. Okay. He comes back and he's focused. And the same thing, they miss a 75-yard touchdown run on the first snap of the second half. Oh. They come back and give them nothing the rest of the game. Yep. So the intensity, the focus, it was exciting. It was a little scary because of the mistakes. And you're not going to get away with that every game. And that could, that was something we'll talk about later in the week. But I didn't even want to talk about that on the board. I haven't even mentioned the negatives yet because it was so fun. It was just fun. And you guys were talking about, when's the last time they beat a big, won a big game and that they were expected to win or not expected to, right in that gray area. and it was just, it all came together. It was
Yeah.
a huge national stage, the only game in town, and all those recruits there, and all the national eyes and everybody hyping up Mateer. Everybody all week, hyping up Mateer in the beginning of the week, and then all of a sudden ripping apart at the end of the week. Again, you saw both angles play out last night, right?
Yeah.
He's a Heisman candidate, but he's got to put some more air under his passes, or he's going to throw multiple interceptions.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure glad you said that.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up about him not putting air on their 2 or 3 different balls, maybe about 4 different balls. 2 of them might have been scores. And one of them almost got picked. And you're dead on.
Yeah. And then he comes back and he forgets all about it, though.
Correct. Yep.
And tries not to make the same mistake. So that's what I took away, the physicality and intensity. That was really, really good to see.
Yeah. I know you all mentioned, aspects of the team and defense and stuff, but what about Owen Heineke? Where'd he come from?
I don't know. But it's great. He's a baller,
oh my
man.
Gosh.
He looked like he'd been playing football for us for like 3 or 4 years. Like he just looked like he's been in that Brit defense for like he's a senior, and he balled out, man. He looked like he was having so much fun. Those are the kind of players that you need on that like 3rd, 4th guy in the depth chart that just randomly just goes out there and balls out. I mean, I root for the kid. I want to see more. I want to see more from him because that was awesome.
The first time I mentioned
you will.
Yeah. I think the first time I mentioned Owen Heineke was last week ever. I'm talking about.
Right.
First time I've ever mentioned him like in a meaningful manner was last week, and I was making fun of him, comparing him to Brian Mead, and I was right along with the rest of the community going, "Oh no, what are we doing?"
That's fair.
I owe all the props because he may have been the best linebacker yesterday on the field. Although Kobe McKenzie Kobe was really good last night, really good. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Owen Heineke, he comes out and he makes a name for himself, and I know it wasn't just me across the country who was like foo-fooing the idea of Brent talking up, this walk-on linebacker in camp. And we're like, yeah, Brent does that, right? That's what he does.
Yeah.
The kid shut everybody up and was like, ooh, good.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You always have those 2 or 3 surprise names that you really didn't see coming. And that was one of them last night. Thankfully, he just adds more depth to that room now, which we're gonna need plenty of linebacker depth during SEC play because guys will get banged up for several weeks. So that was great to see. My thought on the offense as well. Mateer played a gritty, gutsy performance type game. I get it, with his legs and stuff, but the 3 of us can sit here and all agree, right? He's not going to last 10 more games if he plays that way. He may not make it to the Texas game if he plays that way. They got to figure out the running back game with the running backs, not the quarterback run game quickly. So what were you going to say, Rob?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I think they have it. I mean, like, they've got a good run game with the running backs. I just think they just leaned on Mateer because he was rolling. He was like the hot hand, I guess. On my watch back, I mean, our GY counter, our mechanic was following his rules. He was blocking well. Fasusi looked great. Pullen, Simmons looked good. I mean, they all look. Michaela at center. Holy crap. Like, he played a really good game. Ozaida on, like, if you look at the Illinois State game, and we would run just inside zone, base play, and our guys just would not work up to the second level. Like, they just were not. They just, for whatever reason, Ozaida inside zone, he's like sprinting 7 yards to hit a linebacker. And that, I mean, getting to the second level, I think the linemen look good. I think there's some issues in the wide zone stuff that, Arbuckle likes to run, but I saw some promising things in the run game. I did. I think there's still some stuff to clean up, but I would not want to see Mateer having 19 carries, every game. My limit, I think I told Charlie, my limit in a game for Mateer is like 12 or less. And I would like to see it like more like closer to the second half, like that mid third, you start opening it up. But like we kind of lived in it, throughout the game. But I think it's there, Brad. I think we just gotta. There's a few things to clean up, but I thought they did good. Javante Barnes had a great one. Some great runs.
He did.
He had some great runs. He cleaned stuff up.
Yes,
he
I was
cleaned
just
stuff
going
up
to bring
too.
that up. You had Javante Barnes, one snap, finds, runs, patient, uses his vision, sees the hole, gets a 10-yard gain.
Yeah.
The very next play, gets the ball, runs to his right, misses the hole, runs right into the back of an offensive lineman. So when people complain the run game sucks, it's the offensive line, they suck.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's about and I'm not blaming Barnes. It's about all the pieces coming together, right, to make it work. And you saw that. Torrey Blaylock, God bless him. I mean, the guy really put out last night for being on the shelf for the next 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice starter.
Really wish we had him last night. Oh, wait, we did. Torrey Blaylock, he is decisive and his vision is really good, and he's going to get you 4, 5, 6. At a minimum, he's not the guy getting bottled up because he's not seeing where he's going. Javante, I love the kid, great teammate, and I said it on the board earlier this week. He still has value. He has value as a blocker. As a blocker, and he has value when there's a clear lane to run in, right? We saw that last night. And that's, I guess, what has to develop is the cohesion between the running backs and the offensive line and the play caller. Arbuckle has to know the personnel in there and what he can, what it favors. And that will come over time. As far as Mateer, I don't expect to see John Mateer run more than 4 times this week against Temple. I don't. I expect a lot of rollouts, quick passes if the running game's not, if slow to get going again. Then you have Auburn. He's going to run again. If that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do. Then you have Kent State. So hopefully you can get away from it before you get into the back 7 games of straight SEC. But yeah, you guys know me. I'm a big proponent of the offensive line and the talent there. I think we saw it last night. Fasusi gets hurt. Howland comes in and does a monster job in his 7 snaps. Yeah. He's, like you were talking about, being second level. He was almost third level at several times. He was that fresh and didn't miss a beat from Fasusi in pass pro when he came in. So, I think the line, I think you have it written in stone that Michael Fasusi is your starting left tackle. Jake McCullough is your starting center. I could see a little tinkering from, between here and Texas. Derek Simmons looked good last night. He's a little rusty, but he looked good. I know he's capable of playing guard. If guard is still an issue, maybe you try him at one of the guard spots, with Febechi to just get things going, and you put Howland at right tackle. I don't know. All I know is they have good depth. Last night, the last drive really came together. They were able to get the yards they needed. It wasn't, 75-yard gains like Michigan had, but it was the 4, the 3, the 4 that they needed. Mm-hmm. So, and that was against a solid defensive front. So that was good to see as compared to what we saw the first week, and you threw out 4 new starters. So it was encouraging.
Right.
Yeah.
And how about the 8-minute drive in the fourth quarter? When's the last time we've seen that?
Yeah.
To be able to milk a game away like that was impressive, considering we hadn't had a great sustained drive most of the night against them. And all of a sudden you do that when you need it the most. May have not needed it quite as bad if Tate Sandell goes ahead and makes that first kick. But that was something to be seen, just watching them just milk that clock. I was like, they're really doing this. And that was special.
Yeah, it was. And you said Sandell misses the kick and Satega muffs the punt, and Sammy runs into the kicker, and Satega drops the pass. Jaron doesn't catch the touchdown. There was so many that I go from times of feeling very encouraged by that to feeling very discouraged by that. But I like that mentality and the intensity to come back and not let it sink them. And that's, all the credit in the world to Brent. I've said it. That's the one thing I will always give him props for, the buy-in he has from this team and the guys in his program. They absolutely, buy into what Brent is professing, and it shows. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the best sign to come out for me when you had the mistakes to see that in the years past, we saw a team or, the Sooner players standing out there dejected. So that's a good thing. That's a nice turn.
Yeah. Yeah. And then a muff kickoff return by Ott. So just add that to the 5 or 6 things you just said. So we just kept giving them opportunity after opportunity to stick around and keep it close, keep it in one possession. We could have easily had that out to a 3-score game at any point last night and just didn't do it. So great to see him hang on.
Yeah, we offense kind of made, a few mistakes, but this game is really like 24-6. If you look at that one play that Michigan had, they went unbalanced, had 3 linemen, or a tight end, an extra lineman, and then they had a fullback, and we went odd front, and there was 3 gaps that were not accounted for, and all you had to do to stop that play is a timeout. Senior, take a timeout. Brent, take a timeout. That play don't happen. And like that, I thought that out of all the defense, that was probably like one little mistake that we made. But we should have really won this game like 24-6. And if you start looking at the offensive side, you probably could get that up to like even a more of a dominant win of like 31-6.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had it 34. I had it 34-7 on my math with the thing because I did give them.
Yeah, there you go.
I did give them the touchdown. I didn't give them the 2 field goals, and I gave OU 10 points for that, for the roughing the kicker would have been a field goal to me, and then I gave another touchdown in one of the drives. So you're 100% right, Rob.
Yeah, I had a thought and then lost it. Y'all got this old man distracted there for a second.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I mean, I was just saying that, because of the defense, I mean, they played a hell of a game. And you take that touchdown away. I mean, they were put in some really bad spots, and really that one touchdown, all they had to do to defend it was just take a timeout and get in a better formation, and that's it.
Yeah, that was a bust, right? Yeah,
it was a bust.
Yeah, you have one bust, and then you have one helmet catch, and the rest of the night
and the helmet catch. Yep.
Yeah, which was a phenomenal catch.
It was nuts.
Yeah, and Bryce Underwood is going to be a very good quarterback.
Yeah,
I fully believe that. The thing I took away from Underwood was he didn't make the costly mistake that you even saw like Arch, doing in a couple of his first 2 games. He's making that mistake and throwing that ball where he shouldn't. So I think Bryce Underwood is going to be a very, very good player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, pretty poised in that environment last night for a freshman. He didn't look like a freshman in, deer in headlights or anything like that. Yeah. A couple of times you could tell it was getting into him a little bit. I guess I was at the game, so I didn't get to see him and the running back got into a little skirmish on the sidelines. Is that right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They caught it on camera. Just a little jawing back and forth. Somebody didn't like something. Somebody else did. And there was no physical stuff or anything, but it was not. They weren't happy with each other.
No. Frustrated him. I like it.
Better than OU being frustrated, right? Yeah. We'll take that. That's for sure.
Hey, Charlie, just so you know, one of our listeners did ask the recruiting question a little while ago, and we told him we would get back around to it. So,
I mean, listen, I checked with, 4 or 5 recruits. I didn't go crazy because every one I'm getting canned responses from electric atmosphere, great time, family, and most of the recruits that we at TFB are covering or caring about right now are the 2026, and most of the recruits there were commitments for OU. So they're all excited. There is some buzz on 2027. I wrote about it in the thing today. Demare DeZern from Pacific Palisades, wide receiver, speedy guy, nice looking prospect. I had a source say that OU's in a good position there. Peyton Houston, they like being around that kid, the quarterback. But the one thing I was looking for that didn't happen yet, it may be happening today, I don't know, is an offer to McMorris, the offensive lineman, who I thought was going to get it. But that win last night could also delay some things that OU wants to do on the recruiting trail in 2026 because, you have that big win. You got a lot of momentum. Florida has a big loss last night, and Alabama has a big loss. So things are evolving, and some former targets could come right back into play. And, so I think OU is actually doing the right thing and being pretty, they're being very just
diligent, sort of.
Yeah, diligent is the word I was looking for. Very diligent with how they're approaching things, and because they don't want to give an offer to a kid that they might feel like, well, we're gonna have to push you out anyway. At the end, at the end of the day, and so I don't mind that. And while I was looking for that, it didn't happen yet. Very well could. I know they like Mr. McMorris, but the other story in 2026 that we were following on the board was KJ Ford. Well, he didn't come, so he didn't make it in. So that's that's kind of where things are at. But for those worried about recruiting or interested in the recruiting, 2027 they made a huge impression on. You got a lot of kids who are very high on OU, and it's just so far. It's so long to get from that here, from this point to the next point. But with Peyton Houston, as we, trended him last week, he's trending well for OU. And this wide receiver from Pacific Palisades, and there's some guys that are really, liking OU, and you could see a couple pop in the near future here. But one of my other concerns was, my gosh, there's so many recruits there. How are they going to take care of all these guys and make them feel important? I have not heard one thing back from either recruits that I've talked to myself or sources saying, yeah, this guy felt pretty alienated or he didn't get enough attention. It sounds like it was a home run. I mean, from the pregame to the postgame, and plus with the atmosphere in the middle, a lot of, you're going to get electric, awesome, family, great, super. So it really is. And that's all the truth, because this weekend went perfectly for OU. You couldn't have, from weather to the national spotlight to the talk on social media, everything was about OU this week, and OU seized the moment. And that, I mean, how often have we seen OU reach for the brass ring and had everything set up and then couldn't quite get it? Well, they got it. They got it last night, and there was no real negative at all the entire weekend, and you got the results you wanted, you got the attention you wanted, you got the hype you wanted, and it was perfect. So yeah, there's going to be a ton of guys very high on OU, and the fans, the staff, the team, they all only helped build that momentum. So 2027 could be a really good year in recruiting. That can flip in 2 weeks when Auburn comes to town, and now that game is significantly bigger because of where he's at and the quarterback for Auburn. So yeah, for the recruiting though, guys, it went wonderful. They could not have asked for a better outcome. They could not have asked for a more inviting and exciting and electric atmosphere. And that's when you're a recruiting coordinator at a school. That's what that's your dream. You go to bed and you hope to dream about nights like that, and you had it. So it was really impressive. I'm not right now ready to say anybody's going to commit in the next 48 hours, but I would keep an eye on that wide receiver I mentioned, and Peyton Houston on the 15th. I think he's on the 15th. 12th? 12th or 15th. But yeah, the 2027 class is going to get rolling.
Wow.
Yeah.
The receiver you mentioned was sitting 2 rows down from me. He was sitting right in front of Noah Best, and he better be a speed merchant because he looked like a smaller framed guy sitting right next to Noah Best. I did see him last night as well. So I'm gonna give some of that recruiting credit you're talking about to the recruiting events coordinator. Joelle Ale is her name.
Joelle Ale.
Yep. Okay. Just great. She did a great job just keeping everything organized. And I know she's got, a lot of staffers that help her, that she has to, just to keep all them together. And, they're moving them from the field to the stands.
Yeah. It's a lot of work
to event, dinners and this and that, just taking them all over the place. And
we'll pass along from that you're hearing from the recruits themselves that they loved it. She knocked it out of the park, apparently, because I've not heard one negative. A matter of fact, I was talking to a family of a commit, the current 26 commit, and they said that this was their 4th trip, I don't know, to OU, and they were explaining to me that the lead up to the event that day of the game, she said, was just the most magical thing they've ever experienced while being on campus. And it was all about the genuineness of the staff and the people at Oklahoma. She said, every time we come, we feel like family, but this one felt like we were going to Disney, was her exact words. So that's pretty cool stuff. Wow. That, when you have 80 plus recruits in, and you can make somebody feel that way, I don't know how many people felt that way, but so you can pass that along, that they actually, this was a banner event.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, I'll definitely pass that along.
I know you guys want to get into film and your stats, Rob. But I did say the last time I was on, we were talking predictions about the team and the outlook. And you asked, I think, or Brad asked, would a win over Michigan change your outlook? And I thought it did, because I have Michigan and Auburn as a 1-on-1 situation when I was going down the checklist. So right now I was at 8-4. I was leaning 7-5 as opposed to 9-3. Right now I would say 8-4, leaning 9-3. Because if OU can go out there and take care of Auburn and you head into Texas at 5-0,
right?
I mean, you have a chance to play 500 ball from there out and finish at 9-3. So, because if you beat Texas that day, you're 6-0, and then if you play, 500, you're 9-3. So, I didn't see enough to go whole hog and say, they're going 10-2. But I did see things that would really, help get there. The capability is there. And as I've said from the beginning, this team has the ability to beat every team on their schedule. The thing is, you can't have those leaks showing up in different areas from week to week. This week, we've never seen a display of special teams like we saw, right? You can't have that leak. Without that leak, you're already comfortable at, I don't know, 24-3, if you want to say, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But then you had that leak, and so you got to plug the leaks. You got to learn how to play some better, defense on the back end if you're going to run that kind of defense. I don't think they will ever run that kind of defense, but there were Michigan receivers running wide open. So but that was the game plan, and Brent knew that. So I'm not going to doubt Brent Venables after he just did that to Michigan. So I believe he has a plan for the Auburns in the world. But yeah, I'm changing my tune because they did it. And so, I'm feeling more confident. I'd lean more towards 8 or 9-3 than 7-5, but we still have to see it. One more big test before the real test of the schedule starts. But I would be very encouraged if I was, just having a wager at 9-3. I'd be much more encouraged than I was before the game. So
nice.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting Yeah, I was sitting at 9-3. I'm staying on 9-3,
Yeah.
but I want to, like you, I want to see that Auburn. I want to see that Auburn victory. I think if we get that Auburn victory, and depending on how we do it, I'll probably be full hogging it to 10-2. But I got to see that Auburn game. Like you mentioned, there's some stuff on the defense side that I want to get another game.
Yeah.
Michigan and Auburn game and tape and watch back and see if they're. But I think you're right. I don't know if he's going to change some of the stuff on the back end, but
I'm sure he is, though, because Brent didn't care about the pass last night. It was obvious.
No.
He's like,
right.
But against Auburn, and I'm not talking of Jackson Arnold at all. We're through that. I don't think Jackson's anywhere near a good quarterback right now. But their offense is much more diverse in terms of their skill position players. Yes. They have a great set of wide receivers. They have a good offensive line. And, they have a good running back and a quarterback that can run, and do the running thing against you. And he can hit, some passes. So the diversity of offense is going to be interesting to see how Brent approaches that. And, when they came out in the 3-man, the odd front, it was like, this is going to be different tonight, isn't it? So, and it was. And Brent obviously was like, you can pass all you want. I'm not worried about that. So, yeah, it'll be different. But I was very pleased with what I saw with the energy and the physicality and the intensity. So, you put that on a must-win game, and you did it. You did what you needed to do.
Yep.
So that was fun.
Yeah, and this is 2 weeks in a row now. They've been -2 in the turnover.
Right.
Yeah.
Again,
Still,
another negative against you. Right.
Yeah. So that's got to flip at some point. And
I
think it will. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say about that. I don't think the opposing teams did anything to give OU a chance at any turnovers, really. Realistic chances, very few.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I see that. But you're going to have – that's another aspect that could play in OU's favor, right? With the Jackson Arnold running around and throwing it. Hey, we know he throws it – well, he actually didn't. He did pretty solid. But he can throw it to other guys and give you more opportunity.
Yeah, we can only hope.
I wonder if Tory Blaylock will be available next week. I just don't know anymore.
Man, I sure hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. I'm sure he'll have another new injury that cropped up to make him doubtful.
Well, It was so funny because there were some TFBers that were at the tailgate, and they were like, "Man, I don't know about Tory. I don't know about Tory." And I told them, I was like, "Well, TFB didn't put out a note, so if they did put out a note, it's probably there's no news there. So if there's no news there, it's maybe he'll play." So,
Sunday we talked about we had a source who told us flat out. Hold on, let me put this way. We had a source who told us no, there was no intention of listing him even as doubtful. They believed that he was going to play, and we had that Sunday night, so it wasn't a story to us. That's why you don't report on injuries unless you concrete know that something's happening or Brent tells you something's happening. You just don't. So we're like, we're not going to make it a story. It's because it's not. So
I had several TFBers coming in now. I'm like, I didn't see a note. There's no note. There's no TFB note. If there's nothing there, then I don't think it's newsworthy. So don't worry about it.
Right.
And Friday I talked about it in chat, and I'm like, yeah, he didn't take any reps this week, but I still can't rule him out. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So
I had sat in my seat just as soon as I got in the stadium, and one of the first groups out to warm up were the running backs. Here comes Ott trotting out. Here comes Blaylock trotting out, fully in gear. Didn't see any extra apparatuses on them or anything. They looked ready to go. I'm like, well, that looks different than what some of the media outlets out there were saying. So just kind of get a little grin and be like, yeah, Charlie was right again.
Yeah. Well, boys, I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you for running that TFB. You
bet.
The whole sponsored champion standard TFB tailgate. It sounds like it's growing a little bit. Keep it going.
It is.
Yeah. Running out of koozies, man. I'm running out of koozies. I need more.
There you go. Well, they better get them while they can get them, because then that's it.
Limited supplies. While supplies last. That's right.
All right, boys.
Yeah, Charlie, thanks again. We really appreciate you joining us, and thanks for the support you give to Champion Standard.
No, you guys are the best. All right, we'll talk to you.
All right, see you.
Oh, that's always fun.
Oh, yeah. It's always a good time. Always a good time. I know you're itching to get to film or stats.
Film or stats.
Just, huh?
Yeah, which one do you want me to do?
Take your pick. Yeah. Just a couple.
Or can I do both?
Just wrapping up the takeaways real quick. We already kind of went over all of them. Pretty much. A couple that we didn't mention on our Wednesday pod, we were talking about X factors, and one of the ones we mentioned was containing Haynes and Underwood. And I thought we did a fantastic job of doing that, except for one play.
Yeah. No.
You take one play out, 30 carries, 70 yards or something to that effect the rest of the game. And the other thing, and we already talked about this too. We just looked like the more physical team for the majority of the game.
Yeah, he mentioned David Stone, chucking people around. Jaden Jackson blew up that Michigan Center. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Michigan Center had to be told what his mom's name was.
There's a slow motion of that where he's just pushing him. Yeah. And the guy, you can tell he just finally just kind of gives up. He's like, I can't do nothing. It's something else, man.
I mean, out of those three guys, Jaden and Dominic and David Stone, I mean, I've been saying it since the summer, man. I don't think we'll ever have three guys like that on the same team again. I mean, in today's age with NIL and everything, it's amazing that we were able to pull that off. And those three guys are just so good. And if Stone is really emerging, like Charlie's been alluding to for, I don't know, 8 months, he said back in spring, holy crap, man. The way that we just obliterated, there were some plays. Everyone see them go, everyone's going to watch the highlights. That's not normal. That's a Big Ten team. Those Michigan linemen are juniors and seniors. They're 4-star players. I mean, they're 5-star, whatever, the star system. I mean, those are not like little sisters of the poor. Like, our defensive linemen just obliterated them on some plays. Just the play was dead as soon as they hiked the ball. It was Dunsky. It was over.
Yeah.
And like those three guys in the middle and RMT too. I mean, they just had a fantastic game. It was awesome to watch, man. Like, I haven't seen something like that in a while where it was just line of scrimmage, ball hike, it's over.
And I didn't have the best vantage point from my seats because I was kind of in a corner. So, the angle on the field wasn't always fantastic, but it looked like we were mainly bringing just 4 most of the time, and getting pressure with our front 4. But you'll have to correct me on that. I haven't rewatched the game yet. I was planning on doing that later tonight, but no,
I haven't rewatched the defense yet. I've just gone through and broke down the offense so far.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue. Do you want to jump into your film, or would you like to look at some stats?
Let's do the stats real quick. I just want to point out just a few things. Just a couple random stuff.
Yep.
You let me know if you see this.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so this is just some advanced metrics for OU offense, OU defense. A couple of things. We're really good on third down on both sides of the ball.
I heard that stat last night from Toby rolling on the way home, since I had 2 hours worth of stuff to listen to in the car.
Yeah. So third down conversion rate on defense.
Yep.
We're 4th in the country.
Yep.
That's wild. And then
4 of 25 is your 16% there. 4 of 25 on the season.
That's insane. But it's 4th out of 130 teams in the country. We're 4th. And then on offense, we're 7th. Dude, we are completely owning money down.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks. Now we'll be tracking this, week to week. But
hey, your image got funny there. There you go. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yep,
there we go.
We're good.
But that's fantastic. Some of our the pain point right now, the biggest pain point is the yards per rush. You know, we're one of those like chip away type run offenses. We haven't had a big explosion of plays yet. There's only been like we've only had like 3 or 4 explosive plays in the run game. But you know, being 70th in the country is not great. But you know, on third down, you can't get us off the field. Does it really matter? Like if you can't get us off the field and we just keep chipping away at you and we stay balanced, you know, like, you know, if we get to, you know, we're averaging 3.75 yards a rush right now. But if you get in 3rd and 3, I'd say that we're going to end up converting. So defensively, this is another wild stat, Brad. And I'm going to keep this on here for a while.
Right.
Because I just think it's kind of crazy. And I hope everyone's that's watching is paying attention to this, because this is something that's just not normal. So OU, this is the quarterback. I just call it quarterback misery matrix. This is taking a look at havoc rate, like the rate of which you get TFLs, sacks, tackles for a loss, or run stops on run downs that are 2 yards or less, and pass breakups. So it's taking in like basically just defense playing good defense. And then it looks at the EPA drop back. So just positive efficiency when the opponent drops back for a pass. That's all that's looking at. And we have a really, really low havoc rate. Week 1, it was like 9%. Week 2, it was like 10%, which is really low. Like really low. But the EPA drop back it was negative 40.44 last week, which was one of the best in the country. And then this week it was negative 0.23. And we're in the, you know, you got Ohio State down here. I mean, these teams down here have a low havoc rate, but they are attacking the quarterback efficiency and literally like decreasing it below average beyond the entire country. Out of 130 teams, all these teams down here are doing a fantastic job of basically destroying quarterback efficiency. Every time the quarterback drops back to pass, it is negatively affecting that team from even moving the ball, period, through 2 weeks. I'm going to be watching this because
Keep an eye on that one the next couple of weeks.
Well, last year, Ohio State was down here week in and week out, over and over again. They had a low havoc rate, and they were getting negatively affecting the quarterback every time they drop back to pass. That offense was hurting themselves over and over and over again. And we did not have to create so much havoc. And that really, it's been plus athletes. It's been great coverage on the back end. It's been really great sound football through 2 games that gets you something like that. So
yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, I remember them showing up there last year when you showed this stat, and the fact that they're still down there after this game says a lot. So
yeah. So we'll keep, you know, I'm just going to keep an eye on that. And the other one is obviously defensive trench play. This one I just threw together this morning after I was looking at all offensive film for the last 6 hours. I wanted to just like, how's the defense? So this is just stuff rate and sack rate. And, you know, OU is kind of buried in here in the middle of the pack. So, but yeah, I mean, we're looking really good, Brad. I mean, the third down is just 4th in the country. I mean, I can't get my head wrapped around that.
Yeah. I want to see, we need to play a couple of passing teams, you know, just to see if that starts trending up a little bit, but I don't feel like we played anyone that's challenged us yet in the secondary. So we'll see if that changes, but
yeah,
you know, here in the next couple of weeks. Hey, we had a question from someone in the chat. Do any of you wonder why RMT isn't getting to the quarterback?
Well, I mean,
how we're
the
defending things right now, right?
Yeah, that, and also, I mean, Bryce Underwood only dropped back the past 17 times. Out of those 17 times, probably more than half of them was quick game.
Mm-hmm.
So really, yes, you would like to, you see maybe some TFLs and stuff. It was quiet. He was quiet against Illinois State. He was quiet against Michigan. Let me break down some more defense tape. I haven't had a chance. I kind of just ignore Illinois State
Yeah.
because it's FCS and everything. But I do. That is on my checklist to look
Mhm.
back and see if they're either sliding protection to him or if they're chipping him. I haven't had a chance to
Or if
rewatch Michigan.
if he's just kind of containing right now.
Possibly,
You know,
but I would hate
well,
that.
I mean,
if they were doing that with him,
I
I would be
agree.
pissed. Like, I
Agreed,
wouldn't want
but if you let a guy like Underwood out, that can be scary. Or the running back. They had that tandem in the backfield that was very dangerous. So I know containment was just a big emphasis for BB this week. So
Yeah. I'll rewatch defense maybe on Wednesday.
yeah, Wednesday
can
we
take a
might be
look,
able to go over that a little bit.
give you a real answer. I mean, I can
Mhm,
say
mhm,
all
mhm.
kinds of stuff right now, but give you a real answer on Wednesday of what they're doing. So this is just I got to redo this dashboard a little bit because got to roll it over for the new year. I mean, last year we had it, but I did just want to show this quick graph. So we had explosive plays. We had 14 explosive plays. 2 came from quarterback GY counter. 2 were verts. I mean, verts. Go look. I guess I could pull it up. The Canik catch that was fantastic. Yankee, which is Y cross, which is that air raid core concept. You got mesh, GT counter, pylon, quarterback inside zone, screen, smash, spacing, and trail. I mean, the way that they created explosive plays the last 2 weeks in a myriad of ways should make you feel really, really good.
Right.
I mean, it's not a dominant concept that they're moving the chains or there's
Sure.
some sort of dominant concept that they have to lean on to
Yeah.
get something downfield. The way that they're actually spreading the ball around to different players and they're all getting involved is a really, really good sign of
Yeah,
this offense evolving.
DCs look for tendencies, and we're just not giving them a lot to work with, are we?
Nope. I mean, you can lock down on Burks, but then you're going to leave Lewis and Canik roaming the middle of the field. If you can't load the box, you load the box up, you're going to open them up. If you don't load the box up, then you get hit with GY counter, but the quarterback with a +1 run game. I mean, it's just like, which way do you want to die? Like, how, you got 1,000 ways of, death of 1,000
knives
cuts.
or yep.
Sorry, 1,000 knives, 1,000 cuts with the run
Right.
game, or do you want to and cap the vertical threat, or the horizontal threat, or do you want to cap the horizontal threat and then get eaten alive in the run game? Now, like we've mentioned, like we would want to see some sort of running back run game coming through, which is there. They just, I think it's more of a, Arbuckle just maybe needs to commit to it a little bit more. But one other note before I, jump into film real quick, the number of disruptors. So offensive football OCs, like they always, there's 2 different philosophies, Brad. There's one where you are static, meaning you go and you're static, but you're ultra wide, meaning like the Baylor offense, the Tennessee offense, where you don't, Tennessee's offense doesn't have a whole lot of formations. They don't have a whole lot of anything, but they spread you out so wide that you have to commit with that safety in your overhang, run or pass, right? Or the other thought is you create disruptors, and disruptors are your formation in the boundary. It's your bunches, 3 receivers stacked together, or a stack with 2 receivers. Ben Arbuckle, looking at last year, looking at this year, he is most definitely a more leans to disruptors. And in this last game, 50% of our offensive formations had some sort of disruptor. So they motion and a stack, motion and formation and boundary, empty, bunch and unbalanced. Again, formation and stack, condensed, bunches, stacks. I mean, 50% of our plays had a disruptor of some sort. Last week, it was like 18%. So more than double of our formations, just the book is just wide open. And that's kind of how his offense kind of works, is that We're not going to be static and do ultra wide like the Jeff Levy offense. We're gonna end up creating all these different formations, and they threw out a ton, man, like a lot. Like, and I'm tracking from game to game, week to week, all those different disruptors. What's his favorite? He loves motion 10% of the time. Empty. Everyone get ready for a lot of empty. Like John Mateer and Arbuckle last year loved getting into empty. Empty run game, empty quarterback zone, inside zone, stick, Yankee, all kind. He'll run like Brad. He'll run basically two core concepts. Like he'll run like a Y cross on one side, he'll run stick on the other. You know, he'll do all kinds of stuff. So that's something we'll be kind of watching throughout the years, the different stuff. And pass concepts in this last game, they ran Y cross 4 times, stick 3, verts 3, fade, now screen, spacing, mesh, etc. So
yeah, I hope they don't fall back into some conservative ways when we play Temple next week. I kind of want them to keep expanding the offense a little bit, even though it gives Auburn a little more to look at.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go in there just kind of going through the motions. It's a sneaky trap game, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. It is. So what was this is looking at run plays only. So we have, inside zone, trap, zone read, duo, et cetera. So I'm tracking how many calls and what's the yards per play for each one. And really, I mean, it's GT counter, not bad, but the quarterback GY counter game, that's a guard and a tight end blocking in GT in the GY counter. That was our most calls, 8.6 yards a play. Really effective for us. One of them was for a touchdown. So I'll be tracking that through the year too. And we can, 6 weeks or so in, we can look at what the, after 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, we can what's the best run play that we have? What's the best pass play?
Right.
And we have field position. So we can look at what field. We can look at the high red zone. We can look at scoring opportunity within 40 yards. And we can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Before you jump over to film, I was going to couple of questions that came in. Eli had a question for us.
Yeah.
How does the OU maintain the run game without running Mateer to death like they had to this game? What can they do differently?
Commit to it.
Do you think Ott becomes featured? Yeah. So
that's the strangest part is Jay
right.
not. I don't know. I don't have sources in the bill. I wish I did. I just text Arbuckle and be like, what the heck is going on with Ott? But there's something. In the reps that he had, it looked fine. Like I didn't understand why he needs more run. Like he needs reps.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe he is hurt. Maybe Brad.
Yeah, I think he was definitely hurt during fall camp, so maybe they're just trying to bring him back slow. I think what's interesting is at different times, Blaylock, Barnes, I know Ott hasn't flashed yet, but Blaylock and Barnes both have flashed some already this year. So if we can get Ott going, I think, you got 3 guys that can come in there and really get that running game cooking. And we talked about it with Charlie. This is the first game we had this different offensive line. And there was times they looked really good. And that 8-minute drive in the fourth quarter, you can build off of that when it comes to that running game. So, if that's a small sign of things to come, I think that, that O-line that played yesterday can just turn into a bunch of road graders potentially here in the next couple of weeks. And you might start seeing one of those, 5-6 yard carry type games from us. So
that's what we need.
I really think it's around the corner and not just against a Temple or Kent State. I think you're going to see a good running game against potentially Auburn and Texas here the next month or so.
Yeah, let's. I agree. Like I think it's when it comes to the running back and run game, I think it's just more of a commitment to. Mm-hmm. I really think that this last game, they already look back at the film today. Like they've already watched film together in their position group rooms and everything. Coaches are probably having a meeting right now or like an hour ago. And they're probably already saying, hey, we got the win. It was great, but we can't run our quarterback 19 times and are already going to start adjusting to it. I think it's just a commitment to it. I can maybe find some plays in here to kind of show you some of the good. There was only really one rep that I thought was just not good. That just like clicked in my head. I was like, that's bad. All the rest were, as far as the running back run game, it looked good.
Yeah. Eli's last question. Eli, if you would have joined us around 4:15 with Charlie, we were talking about this very thing, about Mateer not getting air under some of his balls, and causing that gets him in trouble sometimes. So I definitely think that's going to come around. That's not a mechanic thing. That's just a what is it, angle, trajectory, whatever pass thing. You just get a little more loft and not just try to throw it on a line to everybody. That's going to come around. I think he had Lewis for a touchdown, probably Canick for a touchdown. If he just gets a little more air under it, right? So I think that'll come. And the beauty of it, that's teachable. That's not something that's like he can't do that. I think he's just so into the game and wound up. He's just got adrenaline, and adrenaline will make you throw balls harder than you want to sometimes. It just does. So I think that'll come around just fine. Just like
I think it's a non-issue. It's just like the interception with Deion Burks last week. It's just film and reps. Just getting them on the same page. That's it. They're gonna go to the film. He's gonna be like, yeah, I know where to put it now.
Yeah,
he's gonna. Mateer's a smart ball player. He's gonna watch the film and be like, yep. He's not, and he's got the arm talent and everything to put it wherever he wants to. It's just reps and film. You have to understand that these players and coaches only are really on the field and together 20 hours a week.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's 20 hours. So in the season, they're going to continue to learn. Like, you're not going to go into a season without stuff that are like what we've seen the last couple of weeks, especially with Mateer and Arbuckle coming from another team and all these new players. You don't know how it's taught either. You don't know if Canick was supposed, like the way that they did it in practice, Canick was running down that hash harder and he rounded it out. And maybe, it's just, you don't know who's exactly at fault because you don't sure how it was being taught by each player. You saw Mateer sail it, but you're not sure, he did exactly what his coach told him to do. Right. So it's getting the film, getting onto the practice. They got 20 hours a week to work together. It's a non-issue. And once they do get that cleaned up, holy crap, man.
Right.
What they've done the last couple of weeks with this new offense, with all these new players is really, really good. It's good.
Yeah. You don't want to be peaking, second game of the season. You always build on it throughout the year. Honestly, Rob, one of his best friends for that game itself could be Giovanni Gibson coming back. You get a big outside receiver that you do throw up those big, 50-50 balls. That may force him to start to throw differently a little bit, because you're trying to loft it up there, just hoping your 6'4", 6'5" guy goes up and gets it, kind of thing, where he's been throwing to all these shiftier type receivers the last couple of weeks. I think getting Giovanni Gibson back is going to help that room quite a bit in that regard. So I'm excited to see where this group can go. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and flip the film on. If anybody has questions of a play that they want to see or anything, I've got it. We can look at it. I will tell you, I will try to get you as much as I can. I have only looked at this for 6 hours or so. We'll see but if you got questions, if there's a particular play you want to take a look at, we can take a look at it. But let's go ahead and pull it up. actually used the coaches one. I'm not a coach, by the way. I usually reserve that transition for coaches only. Anyway, can you see screen, Brad?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, this one, yeah. So this is like play number 6. I'm just gonna let it play. We all know what this play is. This is Dion Burks is a one receiver, Brad, and he really gave Michigan some fits. Just with this right here. I mean, this is
there's 2 or 3 of those during the game.
So again, this is verts. Okay, this is verts, or 6 in the true air raid language. Every coach has a language for it, but you're essentially getting 4 guys to 4 spots on the field. On the below the numbers, hash I can't draw, and hash I can't draw, and we go 3 by 1. You're just gonna get. This is the same play that Kanik last week scored last week, where he was wide open in the middle of the field, where he red zone, he sat in it, caught it, and then fumbled it. We don't want to see him fumbling, but it's the same play. I mean, it's the same verts play. And in this particular instance, we're gonna get a fire zone blitz, or a fire zone where we're gonna have 3 deep, 3 under, and we're sending 5 for Michigan. And this nickel, I'm assuming he's the nickel, makes a mistake. I don't know who this guy is. I'm not really familiar with Michigan's personnel, but he gets there way too late, and that's all it is. Mateer just recognized it. Yep. Mateer's looking right at this guy right here through him. He's reading this guy through this guy, and he knows, okay, this guy is being super late. You got a 5-man pressure. You got 3 deep, 3 under. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this guy is taking his sweet old time, not thinking that Burks can get out here, and Mateer just throws this on a rope, man.
Yep.
Like, this is like straight. This is a Sunday throw. It is. I watch this. And what's crazy is he does this from like midpoint, but guys, he could be standing right here and make that same throw. He can be on this opposite hash and still make that throw. That's how good his arm talent is, and that's why everybody's like, holy crap, this dude can really rip it. But if he accuracy, arm strength, getting that ball to drop right into the receiver's hands like that, it takes a special player. I'll let somebody else, I'll let Gabe talk about the pass protection here, where Michael is he's in we should be helping here. I'm seeing a slide here. I'm seeing like a sift between these 3 guys, and this anyway. I'll let someone. I don't really know pass protection too well, but you shouldn't have a guy come scot-free to hit your quarterback in that situation. Just a great throw, and it's verts. We started the game last game with that same play. It just happened to go to Dion that time.
Yeah, I actually remember this play. I'm glad you're pulling this one up.
I'll just let it run.
Yeah. We were deep in our end zone too. That was a huge play.
So, all right. So his read is this nickel right here. He is reading him, and as he this play is mesh. You're getting mesh. You're getting a go ball. And then I'm not I think he's swinging out. Maybe most likely he's swinging. No, he's not swinging out. That doesn't look right. I'm not sure what the back is doing. Let me watch him real quick so I can draw it up. Oh, he's staying in protection. Okay.
Yeah, and he needed to on that play, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
I remember that one. I had a view of number 4 coming in right in front of me, and they picked him up right there at the last second.
Okay. So it's a 4-man rush. This guy reads the back. It's a
Mhm.
green dog blitz. So the linebacker is reading the running back. He's staying in protection, so he goes. Green dog right there. You're getting a mesh right here, and then you're getting an OTB route. So like Arbuckle likes in mesh to either have a tight end or a second receiver or the slot receiver to sit behind it. And then you've got the go route outside. How this is being read here is Mateer is looking at this overhang and he knows he's got mesh, right? And so as soon as he turns his hips towards him and he stays flat footed, he knows he's got a wide open shot. He's got a shot play out here. He knows this safety. This is cover 1, by the way. So he knows that this safety can't get over there. By his alignment, there's no way he can get over there. So as soon as he stays flat-footed, knowing that his receiver takes 2 or 3 steps and works inside and makes the mesh point down here, he can take this shot. And it's a good, like you mentioned, like it's a good call because he ends up having, his back stays in protection. He gets a green. He doesn't see the linebacker coming, but he doesn't see the linebacker blitz here. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to because it's like right here. Let me zoom. Right there. He's reading right there. As soon as he sees that step, he knows he's got him. He's going to take this shot. He's going right now. He does not care that he's getting blitzed. He doesn't feel it. Nothing. He knows he's going to rip this thing. Corner, terrible job. I don't know who this is. I don't know anything about him. But if you're playing cover 1 and you know that your safety's wide out here, this is like the worst positional maintenance as you could possibly have. And Dion just takes it from him.
Yeah,
insane throw.
Yep.
Like that is insane throw. Like, but I'm not. I saw him all last year do stuff like this.
Yeah, I dropped it in the basket.
That's just taking candy from a baby, man.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Read him. He's in man. He's triggering down on the mesh. And here's the thing. Let's play hypothetical. Let's play a little hypothetical. If you were to, let's say this guy gets picked up, this blitz is gone, and he goes, okay, and this safety does work his way, which is not. I wanted you to point out. I want to point this out. Kanik.
Mm-hmm.
He's genuinely running this the right way. There's so many teams that run mesh and they just run to the sideline. He's legitimately trying to turn up. I saw that and I was like, oh, dude, that is being taught right because
it's almost a little bit like a wheel route, isn't it? Yes.
So in man, when you're running mesh, right? You got your mesh. If you're running man, you turn up. You want to turn up because there's not going to be anybody out here. No, every single time. If it's man coverage, if it's cover 1 or cover 0, whatever. This guy he's going to make a decision on what, most likely this way towards the fade that you got. But I saw that and I was like, okay, that could be something later down the road. But
yeah, Eli was asking about that if Kanik was the easier throw on that one. So he asked before you actually started going through the play.
Yeah, so like him, the way that he read this, he knew that he had a single high safety.
He was already locked on that safety.
This guy, that's the right play right there.
Yeah,
you take it. I don't know. I have no idea what else I threw in here, man. I doing this so quick after like a few years. So you're going 4 strong. Oh, I pointed this out. So if you guys watched the pod last week and how you saw Lewis caught a touchdown pass last week and the dig route actually was over here. And you remember he caught it like right here and he ran it in for a score. And that safety, that backside safety for Illinois State was like completely lost and didn't know what he was doing. We kind of got away with a lot of that because technically you have to hit your dig route before the hash. And last week we got away with it because Illinois State's terrible. And we came back this week and we threw this dig route beautifully. And we put this flat player. So that what they're running here is cover 4. They're running stump. You've got a flat defender, deep 4, deep 4. I'm not sure what they're doing up here, but it doesn't matter. And this flat player has to take any wheel route, any wheel. And you've got a switch and you've got a wheel. So he has to obey this wheel, and then this safety gets torched. And I'm not sure if this is the safety that got replaced before the game, but this dig that Keontae Lewis and this switch with the wheel. You got your dig. See if I can draw that better. Dig, wheel, flat. Cover 4. Taking the 4. Flat is sitting here. He's got a running back in the flat. He's got a wheel route and a dig behind him. This safety really should be coming down hard. He does not. This could be the safety that got replaced with Rod Moore out. And it's just easy throw. Mm-hmm. And I just like the spacing and the timing on this one. It's so much better than that we did last week. And I liked it. But I called it, this is a trail concept with the wheel behind it, holding this flat defender in place to open up the spacing for that dig to come through and Mateer to hit it. It was a great play. It was a great play.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all these. Let me just.
And Eli makes another good point. Kanik really is destroying people in space. He's a matchup. He's not your typical tight end rolling out of the backfield. He's a speedster. He gets the ball in his hands. He's gone potentially. It's not like he's lumbering down for a 20-yard pickup. He is a legitimate threat to take it to the house. Do you have his catch by chance? You may not.
Which one?
Kanik's first catch across the middle when we had that third down and he caught that one crossing across midfield.
I mean, I've got
it's okay if you don't.
Is it Illinois State or Michigan?
It was the Michigan game. It's okay. I shouldn't put you on the spot like that.
No. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. This one right
here. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, this is Verts again. It I'm saying again So here I'll draw it up again. Verts. They're gonna hit top of the numbers. Hash. Verts. No matter what changes, you can be in stacks, you can be in a bunch, you can go formation or boundary 3x1. All the receivers need to know is, hey, 6. This is 6 blue. 6 blue flip. 6 blue flip? Yeah, that's 6 blue flip. So you're going to have 6 blue flip. You flipped the Y to the other side. You're running 6. You got blue is the running back. That's the play call. Boom. Anyway, so he's just going to run to his spot just as if he was over here. So if it was a 2x2 set, he would have ran that. Right. But he's in they flipped it. 6 blue flip, and you've got your Vert right there, and voila. Yeah, and I think great. They did a switch down here too. So this is going to throw they're running a switch between the 1 and a 2. You can run a swap between the 2 and the 3 if you wanted to. But those are all calls. I mean, those are all. So this would be 6 blue flip and whatever their switch tag is. Switch blue 6 flip, and they can mess with all of that. You could also, just on this family of concepts alone, you can call him to a drive, and then you can have the running back replace him. You could do all kinds of stuff in this family. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a player. Dang it. You're trying to get a player in 4 spots of the field, usually at the hash marks and below the numbers. Below the numbers, hash, below the numbers. And as he runs it, he's just running to his spot. and he makes a great catch. I mean, they've worked this, Brad. I mean, this is a lot of reps. I mean, if you're asking a converted linebacker to run 30 yards downfield, they have been working this a lot. Like, this is not something that they were casually just putting stuff in. I mean, I have a feeling, Brad, but I got to see some more tape, that we are a horizontal stretch offensive passing game team, which is completely different than what we ran in Washington, what Mateer and Arbuckle ran at Washington State, which was more of a weak side flood, a lot of Y cross. Looking at what we've done in Y cross, we're not particularly good in it, but this concept here and the Verts family of plays, we have been running really, really dang good.
Yeah, no, they got it rolling. I was listening to Arbuckle last night, again, on my 2-hour commute home, and somebody asked him, they were like, is Kennick an H-back? He's not your typical tight end? And Arbuckle said, yeah, I think we're going to call him Burger Back. So he's got a name for him, Burger Back. Yeah, I thought. And
Burger Back means wide receiver. A wide receiver that can block, a wide receiver body that can, catch a 30-yard pass and block.
Or he can come into the line, and get you a block or so. But yeah, Kennick's, I think he's, having played both sides of the ball, I think that's maybe gives him an edge. Where he's lacking on the offensive side as a tight end, just the fact that he's got working knowledge of both sides of the ball, I think just gives him a great skill set.
Yeah. No, the Verts play has done well for us. The Verts family has done well for us. This is the same concept. I won't play the play because we've already seen it multiple times, but you saw how we were 3x1 in the boundary. This is us running it again, but we got in 2x2 stacks, and we're doing the same thing. Whether it's switches, swaps, whatever you want to do, you got 4 guys that are reading to get to their 4 landmarks. Something new that we ran in this last game, I'll play it. You guys will recognize it. So you got 3x1. You got a nub tight end with Kennick shifting. You got a bunch down at the bottom. And what's happening here? You're getting a cover 0 look. Mateer scrambles. And then you got Satania, who just takes off with a great catch. We all recognize that one, right?
Yep. It's not a Crabtree one, is it?
No. So this is
referencing some Mike Leach error type stuff or something.
No. So this is one of my favorite plays because it's super simple. You're going to get a curl. Hold on. Let me read it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just making sure I know who my pylon player. So this is pylon, or I call it pylon. Third receiver is going to literally run to the feet of the wide receiver, and he's just going to work his ass off to that back pylon. And then you're going to get another curl. So curl, pylon, get to the feet of the safety, work your ass to the pylon, and then you're going to get flat. I like this play. It's really less about the play because you're going to get at least a 5-man pressure. How many people go after him? There's 5. And so what they're trying to do here is they've got cover 2 at the top. They are locked up on these receivers. That was something I was alluding to earlier about Charlie, about all the different disruption. This is a bunch set. All the disruptors that Arbuckle used last night. Like him and his staff obviously saw that Michigan, when they got into any of these disruptors, they really just leaned on man coverage because I don't think Michigan safety was particularly good or have been coached up on the different schemes on defending bunches and stacks. So they would just lock up, basically go into man coverage. And this is all man coverage. They locked it up. Up here, they went cover 2. And the reason why is because you're getting a curl, but they're trying to eliminate the boundary side, and then they've got a low rat or a low hole player to try to take away any sort of quick game in the middle. They're really relying on that 5-man pressure to get home. They want this fight. They want the pressure to get home. They want to sack and eliminate the quick game. And it really doesn't matter because Mateer makes a guy miss. He scrambles out. And really, becomes play number 2, right? That was play number 1, curls, pylon. And they eliminated the boundary. They eliminated the low hole for any slant game. Now it becomes play number 2. And what happens in play number 2? This guy right here.
Look at the defender right there. You got it stopped. Look where that defender's looking.
Yeah.
His eyes are on Mateer in the backfield.
Yep. And he's in man coverage.
You have him at that point.
Yep. But this is a fantastic play by Satania to not give up on the play and work your ass open. I mean, he is so far. He has no idea, Brad, that he's getting this ball or not. All he knows is I ran out of space. He easily could have just sat here and just waved at Mateer, but instead he goes, nope, I got to get my butt open, and just screams downfield to get his butt. And then he's like, hey, I'm right. And Mateer doing his thing, finds him on a rope. Amazing catch. But that is like, hey, you could draw it up. You can get, run your curls and your pylon play. You can get locked. They can try to take away the boundary, they can send pressure. And if they don't get home, they don't get home. And then it turns into play number 2. And Mateer can do stuff like this, and his receivers can stay calm and patient and work open for him. Dude, like, this is going to give nightmares. This one play, if I'm a defensive coordinator, Brad, and I have to defend this kid and this receiving room, I'll have nightmares, dude. Yeah. Like, how are you supposed to do this? I called man coverage. That means don't look at him. You look at your dude. Don't look at him.
Right.
X him out.
No. You really gotta take your hat off to Arbuckle and what he's done in the short amount of time he's been on campus, just to get these guys on the same page.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are on the same page, many plays, whether it's Canic, Mateer, receivers, they just seem to be in sync. And then when things break down, guess what you have in the backfield? Mateer can just take off anytime. So,
not really great pass protection there. You never want a pass pro and this doing nothing. And Javonte, I'm not really up on my pass protections, but you really don't want 2 guys doing nothing.
Yeah.
You got a guy doing nothing, another guy doing nothing, and another guy coming free. That doesn't look good.
Gosh, he's got so many similarities to the way he looks. He looks like Baker running around out there, but
he's
can run
bigger
a little
than Baker,
better,
though, man.
Yeah, no, he can run better and he's bigger.
Yeah.
But when you watch him elude people, I saw Baker do it on the noon game today against the Falcons. Did the same exact thing that you just saw there. Just shed one tackle. All you got to do is shed one tackle, and extend the play. So,
yeah. Yep. So I was hoping I had it in here, but I guess I didn't. I want to throw some love to some of the offensive linemen out that did good. This is another. So it was obvious that Michigan was getting kind of ticked off that they couldn't get to Mateer. So here, I mean, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys blitz on 6, and there. I mean, this is again cover 0, and this is just great. I mean, there's nothing there's nothing you can do about this. If your 7-man pressure can't get out there, really the defender should have ate Barnes alive. This is bad coaching, in my opinion, on Michigan.
That was like, a tremendous call, though.
Yeah, it was. But like as a defender, you're bringing 7, and you feel that back is trying to leak out. You got to like hold on to him. Like you got to knock him out of play. Like Derek Moore should have knocked his ass off, but you see how he leans in there and tries to get hands on him. He can't get his hands on him. Derek Moore made a mistake. You need to clack him in the head.
Giovanni sold it really well too.
Yeah.
He looked like he was coming in for the block and said, "Nope." That was it wasn't a shoestring catch, but that wasn't an easy catch for Javonte to make either. He had to stretch out and he kind of almost caught the nose of the football. So great job. Great execution again. A lot to like about this offense, Rob. I see why you went to that film as well. I know you want to get to the defense, come Wednesday or whatever, but there's a lot of good out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that another day.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. They're still working on their Y cross. They're still working on their flood concepts, but they really found something with the Verts family, really trying to stretch horizontally. When I say Verts, I don't want it's kind of a misnomer because it's not really it's not really a vertical play. It's not a play that you're going to score, 7 points on or 6 points. You call it 6, you call it Verts because it will lead you to scoring a touchdown. And it's really about, as I drew it up, from below the numbers to hash to below the numbers, you're getting guys that are stretching the width of the field. So it's a horizontal stretch team. I really feel like this Arbuckle, at least in the last couple of weeks, is a horizontal stretch passing game where we're going to try to take the width of the field. And then when you start spreading, your quarters and you start spreading your guys out, that's when they come into the middle of the field and hit you with spacing concepts and try to nickel and dime you. And then we got receivers that can make a guy miss and get an extra 10 yards. So it's pretty cool, man. Like it's moving. If we can get the Y cross going, get the mesh going, and some of these other things, and then some of the other stuff he's got cooking, which I can't even get to today.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot, man. It's good.
You just keep stacking onto the playbook each week. Again, no one ever has, 90% of the playbook out on the field by the second week of the season. That's just not how it goes. So,
yeah,
I don't even know. It would take someone like you or someone else to tell me, compared to the Illinois State game, how much did we add on to that? And you don't.
Quite a bit.
You know what I mean?
Quite a bit.
So
yeah,
for me, the novice guy watching the game, I couldn't tell you. I'm all about, oh, great, that worked, that didn't. I don't get into all the other stuff. You know what I mean? So if you or, some of the other coaches or whoever says, yeah, we added, 20% more, to our game plan or whatever that means. But
with the number of disruptors alone, you went from Illinois State, 20% of your plays were disruptors, bunch, empty, stacks. And then in this game, you went to little like 50%. So you really like doubled the amount of formations that you put on tape in a matter of a week, which is fantastic. As far as passing concepts, they're still messing with stuff. They really like the verts, especially to open the game, but they're still working on some stuff. There's spacing issues in the flood stuff. But I think over time, again, we talked about the run game. They only spend about 20 hours a week with these guys. Over time, especially a bye week and a Kent State game, wait until Texas. Texas game is going to be wild because if all this stuff that they're doing right now is the lead up of Texas. They're going to do
a little bit of a lead up to Auburn.
I think I'm not as worried about Auburn now as I still want to see some stuff, but I'm not feeling as worried about it because that offensive line of Auburn, that's the strength of their team, is going to have to go through our D line, which is our strength of the team.
Yeah,
and I feel like I'll take them 10 out of 10. So,
okay, all right. Well, nothing like a huge win. Those are the pods you look forward to. This is why we got into it, man. Happy. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's
enjoy
happy.
it, man.
Yeah,
I don't want another 6 and 7. It's so hard to do a pod when it's so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's wrap things up, man. My allergies are eating at me. I'm powering through, but I'm fading fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quick
ahead.
announcement. Tomorrow night, Trench Warfare, JY out, TFB, JY, TFB, Alex, and I are doing a Trench Warfare. We're gonna look at, we kind of looked at the pass plays tonight because they're gonna want to look at some run stuff. So we're gonna look at the counter plays and the inside zone and all that stuff tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Brad and I will probably skip Temple preview because it's Temple. So we'll probably look at some defense stuff. I want to talk a little bit about the defense because I got to get them some credit. I want to, study them for a bit. And then, so Monday night, Trench Warfare, Wednesday, some defense, and then we'll go, we'll do a Sunday Temple celebration stuff.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Really appreciate everyone's support. I hope everybody's having a great day after yesterday. That was awesome experience for everyone. So we will catch you soon enough. So hopefully tomorrow you can catch Rob and the guys doing their breakdown. So everybody have a great day. Boomer Sooner.
Hey, that is my standard. Champion standard. Yeah. Run my plays, ayy. Keep up with the pace, ayy. If you don't got motion, then stay up out of my face, ayy. I be doing a race, ayy. 100 yards out of the way, ayy. It's time to lock it in the field, baby. It's game day. 7 rings you can't handle. I'm on a champion man too. Welcome to my standards. Maybe that's something you can do. Maybe try a different angle. Maybe try a different play too. When you know you're the greatest, some people might hate you. Champ, yeah, I'm the champ. Yeah, I'm the champ. Champion standard, don't gotta put on a hat. Titles, you know we got that. Yeah, I'm the champ. Champion standard, yeah, I'm the champ. Champion standard. Hang my jersey in the rafters, I'm a champ. Champion standard. I'll tell you nobody's safe when it's time for game day. Put up or shut up, you know it's competitive. We will not ever take losses. Yeah, I be playing the game, but at heart, you know I am just really a boss. Youngin' or boomer, don't matter who's on the field, everybody getting sauce. Get down with the team, cause we really one-on-one, yeah. Hey, I'm the man, hey, I'm the man, yeah. Watch how we make fans, while we also make this cash, hey. When it comes to plays, there isn't one we haven't ran, yeah. Competition's getting body, that's no capping. Champ, yeah, I'm the champ, yeah, I'm the champ. Champion standard, don't gotta put on a hat. Titles, you know we got that. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Hang my jersey in the rafters, I'm a champ, champion standard. Champ, yeah, I'm the champ. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Don't gotta put on a hat. Titles, you know we got that. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Hang my jersey in the rafters, I'm a champ, champion standard. I told you nobody's safe when it's time for game day. I told you nobody's safe when it's time for game day. Champion standard, and we don't play. Champion standard, and we don't play.